Welcome back everyone. Today we'll be looking more at polymorphism. Okay, as I said before, it's quite confusing, so today I'll try to make it clearer to understand the basics behind inheriting and using these pointers with different types of objects easier. Also, another thing to make clear is, remember the monster class and the alien class each had a function called attack. So a monster and an alien could attack, however there was no attack function in the enemy class, where they both inherited from. That's why we had to switch back to using the monster and alien attack after we set the attack power. Now, so if the enemy object tried to attack, you'd get an error message because an enemy object can't attack. The enemy class only has specific classes, but no attack. So we could use the enemy objects to set the attack power, because every class inherited this attack power. But the enemy objects couldn't be used to attack because only the actual classes can attack. So what if these enemy objects could also set the attack power and attack and do everything the enemy needed to do, instead of having to keep switching to the monster and alien classes? Well, that is basically the main idea behind polymorphism, and it really simplifies the program. So we'll begin with blank monster and alien classes, and we'll now learn how to call the attack function on each and every enemy object, so it all runs smoothly. You'll also find the code for this so much simpler than how we did it previously. Basically, we want every enemy object to be able to attack. We'll make a public function and name it void attack. Every enemy is able to attack, and each specific class, like monster and alien, has their own specific attack functions. Monsters draw and breathe fire, and aliens will zap you. So each class will basically overwrite this attack function. So we can make this function virtual, which means that you're going to be using that polymorphically. So when it's using an enemy 1 attack and enemy 2 attack, it will look in the specific class for that function. So type public, make the attack function using void attack and monster attack, end line, and code it. Then do the same for the alien attack. So we have a monster object and an alien object. So a monster is a specific type of enemy, so we can make an enemy object and a pointer to enemy 1 and set it equal to the address monster, and this again with alien. The reason this is valid is because monsters and aliens are types of enemies, so anything that you can do to an enemy you can do to a monster and alien. If the enemies attack with a laser gun, the monster or alien can do the same. So, we've made this virtual function, and then we type enemy 1 attack and enemy 2 attack, then build and run it. It runs smoothly, and we get monster attack and alien attack. By using virtual functions, we basically tell C++ that within the computer game that is built, there will be enemies, and each enemy will have an attack function. Now, when we use an enemy object which has an attack function, we want C++ to find out which address, which type of enemy, either monster or alien, has that particular attack function, and call that attack. So it said that enemy 1 attack, but this is a monster object, therefore it will be monster attack. And then the same for enemy 2. So go ahead and attack But then remember, this is a virtual attack, so then you know it's an alien object. So you alien attack it. So basically, virtual functions are template functions. A polymorphic class is any class that inherits virtual members like variables or functions. The idea behind polymorphism is that you can call the same functions and have a different outcome. So basically that is polymorphism, that you can have different functions from the same type of function but get different results, and that is dependent upon which address it's pointing to. So I hope this made more sense, and once again I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you and bye bye.